Hey Dana, here's your yoga flow as promised. If you practice this a couple times, you'll be totally prepared to take any yoga class. We're going to start with sun salutations. So start at the front of the mat in Tadasana, just standing, feeling the weight distribute between the three corners of your feet. Roll your shoulders back and down and take a couple of deep breaths. Inhale the arms straight up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Step back into plank. Inhale, come forward over your fingertips. Exhale, bend the elbows and drop all the way down on your stomach. Inhale, press into the hands, upward dog. Tuck the tailbone. And then exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Walk it out. From down dog, step to the front of the mat. Exhale into forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands to shins, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands come over your head. Exhale, hands to heart, Tadasana. Inhale, hands straight up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. You're going to jump back this time into plank. Shift your weight over your fingertips and then bend your elbows halfway, keeping your elbows close to your body, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. From here, step the feet between the hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to shins, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, hands up overhead, Ardha Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart, Tadasana. Now we're going to do Surya Namaskar B. That was A. Bend the knees, chair pose, thunderbolt, Uttanasana. Utkatasana, Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half lift. Exhale, jump back into Chaturanga. So you're going to jump back into that push-up. Elbows close to you. Inhale, upward facing dog, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back into downward dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Walking out the feet. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the right leg between the hands. Drop your back heel down and check underneath you. Quiet. Check underneath you to make sure you're having a heel to heel alignment or maybe heel to arch. Reach up overhead. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Your shoulders are facing forward. Hands are straight up over your shoulders. From here, let's clasp the hands behind our backs. Inhale. Open up the chest. Yes, that's nice. And then exhale over the front leg, pressing the hands away from you. Humble warrior. From here, we're going to come back up with the hands behind you. Windmill, both hands up ahead. They can touch. Exhale, hands to mat. Step back to plank. Shift forward. And then halfway down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to Chaturanga. Press back into downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the left foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down, heel to heel or heel to arch alignment with the feet. Inhale, hands straight up and over. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Hands are directly above the shoulders, but the shoulder blades are low, so no hugging the knees, the shoulders up. Shoulders face forward, trying to get the hips to square. They probably won't go completely square right away. And then hands clasp behind your back. So you can change the clasp, so clasp it the weird way. There's one way that feels normal, and if it feels weird, that's good. And then press the hands away from you. Look up. Exhale over the front leg, humble warrior. Pressing your hands away from your back. If you can't quite reach your hands, you can use a towel or something behind you. This is just to open up the shoulder. Really power up the back legs so it doesn't feel like you're going to somersault over. Inhale, let go of the hands, wheel them straight up and over. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back to plank, shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to chaturanga, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Couple of deep breaths. From here, we're going to jump our feet in between our hands into chair pose, Utkatasana. So this is really alive. Your knees are way behind your toes. Most of the weight is in your hips. Reach your chest up, looking up, think up dog in the chest, and then hands to heart. We're going to take the left elbow to the right knee, twist. When you twist in this pose, make sure you don't come out of alignment, pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. You can drop one hand down, one up, hands back to center. Deep breath in the center, and then you're going to just take the right elbow, left knee, twist. Keep your alignment. One hand down, one up. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Thunderbolt. One deep breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, let's jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Deep breath. Let's stay in upward facing dog and then look over the right shoulder and hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale over the left shoulder and hip. Inhale back to center. Let's tuck the toes, bend back into Chaturanga Dandasana, and then press back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, we're going to raise the left leg up, bend the left knee, and flex your foot by your glute. Breathe into wherever you feel tightness. Drop the left leg down, and let's just take it to the right side. So lift the right leg up, flex the foot, breathe into wherever you feel tightness. You can do some ankle rolls. And from here, we're going to take your right leg in front of you, drop the right ankle behind the left hand, keeping that right foot flexed, and then come down into pigeon pose. Try to keep your shin pretty parallel with the front of the mat. You can use a pillow, a pillow or something underneath you, or you can bring your heel closer to your hip. Just keep that hip foot flexed. Excuse me. Inhale, look up, stretch, exhale, fold over the front leg. Take a few deep breaths in Eka Raja Kapotasana. This is one leg king pigeon pose. You can pause the video and stay there for a while. It feels so good. So good for sciatica, the urinary system. We tend to store feelings that we don't know what to do with, like trauma, anxiety, stress, jealousy, fear, into our tissues in our hips. And so sometimes opening them in a deep hip opener like this one can make you feel like those emotions are surfacing, but they're just being released. So if you notice anything like that, just breathe and be grateful that you're able to release. Let's come into the hands. We're going to press back into a three-legged dog, doing some big circles with that right knee. Circular motion is the dancer's secret to flexibility, so big circles, as big as you can make them. And step it back down. We're going to raise the left leg up. Open that again, and then exhale it in between or right behind your right wrist. Flexing that foot, drop down again, pigeon pose. Again, you can use a pillow right here beneath you, or bring the foot closer to your hip, but trying to keep it as parallel with the front of the mat as possible makes it hardest. Just up to your flexibility. But there's lots of ways you can do this. Just keep that front foot flexed to protect your knee. So we're going to press into the hands, inhale, look up, stretch the stomach, and then stretch out over the front leg. Yes. And just deep breaths. You can work with visualizations at this part, like really thinking about like every inhale you're bringing cool, clean, crisp, green, clean water into washing the hips, and exhaling out muddy air, muddy water. Every time you exhale, letting go of anything you don't need. Yes, again, just be grateful that you're able to release. This is the only day like this one that ever will be. So try to find beauty in that present moment. Press into the hands, three-legged dog. Doing those big circles with the left knee. As big as you can make them. From here, let's face the front of the mat. Feet are parallel. We're going to come up with a straight back. And from here, just clasp your hands behind you. Now, lift your kneecaps so that your quads are really alive, so you don't feel like you're going to flip over when we do this, but you're going to come over your open legs, pressing your hands away from your back. Opening up the back really beautifully, stretching in the hips, tailbone, hamstrings, everything stretching. Going to inhale all the way back up. And we're going to bring our feet a little closer together, and we're going to squat all the way down into yogic squat. Malasana. I recommend you do this every single day. Pressing your elbows into the knees to open the hips up further. Not crazy, but somewhat. If your upper back has tension, let's go one hand down in front of the right knee, left arm straight up, and either use a towel in the top hand and drop it behind you, or just maybe you can clasp the leg behind you, opening your chest towards the ceiling. And then we're going to come back to center in that prayer. Malasana. You can even do garland pose, which is to push your knees into your shoulders, kind of an effective upper back stretch for sure. And then this time, left hand comes in front of the left knee, right arm straight up, put a towel in the top hand if you need it. Exhale, hands clasped behind. Opening the top, opening your chest towards the ceiling, looking up, breathe. And then from here, just go ahead and drop back on your butt. Open your legs straight out, flex your feet, and walk your hands out in front of you. You can stack your hands like this so that your forehead is hitting a surface. Anytime the brain presses up against the inside of your skull, it's a very calming effect on your nervous system. So it's really useful before bed. Keep the feet flexed and just fold. Inhale, walk your hands back up. From here, we're just going to be seated in an easy seated pose. Bring your hands over your knees. And then reach your hands up over the head. Hands in prayer to forehead, to third eye, to lips, to heart. And let's bow to our hearts for its resilience, compassion, and love. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.